national anthem.
please rise for the Canadian National Anthem, and please join with me and sing the National Anthem. Oh, Canada, our homeland, native land, true patriot love, in all thy sons command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true Lord strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Good morning, everyone. I think we can be seated. That's more comfortable. My name is Kathy Curl, and I'm the Dean of Students here at Michener, and I will be your Master of Ceremonies today. Welcome, graduates, families, faculty, staff, and guests. It is always with a great deal of pride that we recognize the accomplishments of our graduates as they move on to become part of the healthcare community. Class of 2013, you have all shared in a unique and transformational journey at Michener, and you are all graduating today as healthcare heroes. I would like to invite to the podium Cliff Nordell, Board Chair, who brings greetings from the Board of Governors.
Special guests, graduates, family, faculty, friends, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Board of Governors, I bring you greetings and best wishes from the Board, and we extend our enthusiastic congratulations to the 2013 graduates. You have worked hard, you've accomplished so much, and I believe you enrich your lives by seizing those opportunities that are provided by the Michener Institute. The professions that you are embarking upon are all integral to a much larger healthcare system, and I hope that you understand the importance that your role plays in that system and to patients. Healthcare needs you. Patients need you. The current healthcare system extends well beyond doctors and nurses and includes all of the professions that are represented here. As skilled professionals, technologists, therapists, and practitioners, you will be filling very crucial roles in hospitals, community health centers, and clinics throughout this province and in Canada, and in fact, contributing in a very significant way to patient care, to patient quality, and patient safety. As members of an integrated healthcare team, your skills and your knowledge will be invaluable. Your ability to optimize medical technology and your aptitude for wielding it with compassion will be noted by students, many of whom will be going through a major life challenge. They may be frightened, suffering, in pain, but all in need of your support and empathy, whether you're at the bedside, in the clinic, or in the laboratory, or elsewhere. With today's rapid advances in technology and research making diagnosis faster and more efficient, you are well positioned to be the applied health leaders with lifelong learning skills. all to enable you to adapt to new methodologies and adapt to new opportunities. We applaud your achievements, and we wish you great opportunities and success in your future endeavors. Again, congratulations to the class of 2013.
Thank you, President. I would now like to invite Christine Nielsen to the podium to present the 2013 Alumni Awards.
Thank you, Kathy. This is the first time that Michener has presented the Alumni Awards at Convocation. You will find biographies for the recipients inside your programs. We start with the awarding of the 2013 Young Alumni Award. This award was established in 2012 to recognize young alumni who demonstrate significant professional accomplishments and commitment to others. This year's recipient is Michael Velick. I ask Michael to join us on the stage. And we also invite Sylvia Shipket to join us as well. Michael Velick graduated from the Michener U of T Radiation Therapy program in 2006. He's been busy since then. After graduation, Michael was hired by the Princess Margaret Cancer Center as a research radiation therapist. He's currently a full-time graduate student and PhD candidate at U of T's Institute of Medical Science, where his research focuses on the translation of advanced radiotherapy technologies into the clinical setting. At the same time, he continues to treat patients and is involved in interprofessional education at Princess Margaret Hospital. Congratulations, Michael.
Thank you. It's really nice to be recognized by the Alumni Association in this manner. Christine asked me to say something. I am a little bit humbled by this. Really what I wanted to tell the graduating class is what I've done to be successful, what I think has got me here is just kind of follow what you're interested in. So you're graduating now, get your foot in the door, get a job, and just, I think if you continue to focus on what you're interested in and what excites you, you'll have a really rewarding career. So congratulations, and thank you.
Next up is the Alumni of Distinction. This award was established in 2003. It is the Alumni Association's highest honor, recognizing graduates who have made outstanding contributions to the community and applied health sciences professions. Candidates must demonstrate career achievement and a real commitment to others. This year's recipient is Deborah Haven. I asked Deborah to join us on stage and stand to my right. Debbie is a graduate from 1976's Radiological Technology class. She's impressed with the new gowns, by the way. These used to be brown, if you can believe that. So she was glad to see that we've had some innovation at Michener. She worked at a hospital for sick children, now known to us as Sick Kids, for several years in general radiography, tomography, angiography, and CT, and was fortunate to be provided with the opportunity to start the hospital's first ultrasound program with Dr. David Martin. Debbie enrolled in the first ultrasound program offered by TIMT. I know, you're wondering what is that? That used to be the former name of Michener, the Toronto Institute of Medical Technology, and when she left Sick Kids, it was to coordinate the expanding ultrasound program. She returned to clinical practice on University Avenue for another 17 years. Debbie later moved into research and earned a Clinical Research Associate Certificate from Michener in 2010. She was a founding member of the Ontario Society of Diagnostic Medical Sonographers, which recently merged with the Ontario Association of Medical Radiation Sciences. Debbie has been working towards regulation of sonographers for over 30 years and refuses to give up. On behalf of the patients of Ontario, I thank you for your passion for regulation, and I am sure it's just around the corner. Congratulations, Debbie.
was delighted and shocked to get notification that I was being honored this way. And it is a real honor. And I'll tell you, I'm a small town girl from Ridgeville, and you'll have to look that up because you won't see it on many maps. And I'm going to tell you, I figured out how you can be here someday. So first, you need to find some educational institutions that will support your dream and support the education that you require, not just today, but in the future. And thank you, Dr. Schatz, for your vision of lifelong learning. So all of you have found the Michener Institute. That was my secret, part one. Part two, you need to find a career that makes you feel passionate about what you do. Now, you will look at me and think, well, she can't be very passionate about anything because she keeps changing. But you will find that you will get out there and other opportunities will come along. For me, the bottom line is healthcare. And thank your patients every day for what they can teach you, because they will teach you something every day. Next, you need to have a support team. Look around you. You've got your parents and your friends here, your family. This is what you require. And my husband is sitting over there in the corner. He has been part of my life for 40 years, and he has seen me through the radiography program, the ultrasound program, completing my science degree at U of T, and then doing the CRA program. Now, I don't know if my children have been quite as supportive, but they've put up with it. But you need your support team. So you have met all of that so far. There are just two things left to do. Get involved with your profession. Join your professional association, volunteer, sit on committees, get involved with the government. Suzanne is here, write her letters. This is what you need. And finally, you need a friend or a colleague. I'm really not sure who nominated me for this award, but it's someone who appreciates what I've done, and it just makes you feel wonderful. So thank you very much. Congratulations, Deborah and Michael. You truly are deserving recipients and bring honor and pride to your alma mater. Thank you. I'd like to invite Cliff Nordell to return to the podium to introduce this year's keynote speaker.
Well, it's my pleasure to introduce this year's keynote speaker, Suzanne McGurn. Suzanne McGurn holds a professional Master of Public Administration and a Bachelor of Nursing Sciences from Queen's University. Over a 15-year period, she has gained significant experience in Ontario's healthcare system. As a frontline healthcare provider with experience in acute, chronic, and rehabilitation care, as well as the provincial detention system, home care, and the not-for-profit sector, just to name a few. Suzanne joined the Ontario Public Service in 2000, and since then has held a number of positions within the Ministry of Health and Long-Term Care, including 2 years with the Southeast Local Health Integration Network. Suzanne was recently confirmed as the Assistant Deputy Minister for the Health Human Resources Strategy Division within the Ministry of Health. In this position, she leads Health Force Ontario, Ontario's Health Human Resources Strategy that was launched in 2006. In this role, she also reports to the Ministry of Training Colleges and Universities. Please join me in welcoming Suzanne McGurn.
Good morning, everyone. I have to tell you, as the remarks have been made, even in the opening comments from your leaders and colleagues here, you're going to hear a lot of themes, and we didn't compare notes ahead of time. So first off, thank you, Mr. Nordell, for your kind introduction. And good morning, graduates, family members, and friends, faculty and staff of the Michener. The best experience and the best education. It is really an honor and a privilege to be called to be here today and join in your celebration, especially in recognition that the Ministry of Health in Ontario has been linked with the Michener for now since 1966. We'll be soon reaching our 50th anniversary. And I have to tell you that you are unique. In my portfolio, I do have responsibility for the funding and oversight for this organization from a government perspective. And I didn't know about it before I had this job. I've learned a lot. I've learned about its rich history, and I've learned about the difference that the students of the Michener make in the healthcare system. Today is a day of recognition and an acknowledgement of this year's graduating class. Each one of you, the graduating class of 2013, have gone through a lot of hard work to arrive at this point. I know many of you have had other learning experiences and may be carrying on with other jobs and other things at the same time that you've been pursuing your education. I think it's important to recognize that though family, friends, teachers, and others have opened doors for you, it is you who have had to take the steps to walk through that door and be here graduating today. You are here today joining the healthcare profession of Ontario, what I like to call the head, heart, and hands of the healthcare system. Sometimes we become very easily focused on the shiny things, the big new buildings, the technology, the things that we go home and study about, but it's really us. Those of us who spend time touching patients, learning about patients, and figuring out how to make the system better. So today, for some of you, this may look like a sunset at one point of your life, but it really is a new dawn. Some of you may recall that those words were spoken by Canadian astronaut and International Space Station Commander Chris Hadfield, who just over a month ago, on his return to Earth from 5 months in space. And while you spent much more time preparing at the Michener to be here today, I hope it rings true with you as well. As well, Benjamin Franklin said, and an investment in knowledge pays the best interest. And you've made that investment. You've made that investment with your commitment to join the healthcare profession. Commencement from the program at Michener Institute represents an important milestone. That is because graduation from your health program is both a sunset, it's an end to the formal education, but it's also a new dawn. And in this, it's the beginning of lifelong learning, and that is in your new health career. I also want to take a moment and pause here to recognize the people that you are likely taking time to thank today too. Those people who have helped you arrive at this destination. Just like in healthcare, no one succeeds alone. Parents, families, friends, teachers, your classmates, your employers, colleagues, patients, and strangers have all helped you be successful. So probably, other than knowing that at some point in your career you might want to write to me, you're probably wondering, why me? Why am I here today? Well, I hope you can tell that I have a great passion for the healthcare system. I've spent a lot of time in healthcare, and I have to say, listening to the list of what I've done over the past years does make me feel terribly old. However, I think the most important thing that I've done is I've had the experience of working with people who want to make a difference every single day, and that's at any place that I've worked in healthcare. I've also had the experience, and I actually will call it a great experience, of being on the other side of the system as a patient with a serious illness. And ironically, it was the first time I met a Michener student. A number of years ago, I was receiving radiation therapy, and it was my introduction to what the program here at Michener is, about the combined degree. And I have to admit, I've tried to get my children off to the program. No such luck. In my day job as an ADM for Health Human Resources, I do spend a lot of time trying to figure out what kind of a system we need in the future. And I'm going to share a little bit about how I think you can help us do that. But through both my personal and professional experiences, I've had the opportunity to see how important quality healthcare is, and how important it is to have properly trained healthcare professionals providing that care. And you will have learned much. You will have learned skills and fact and how to do things and techniques and how to run equipment. But I do want to take a moment to tell you the one skill that sometimes we forget about. It was probably taught the first month in your communications class, and that was the skill of listening. There is nothing you are going to do as a healthcare professional more important than listen to what is going on around you, with your colleagues, with your patients, with your families. Your listening skills will have a profound impact on the health system and the lives of people that you touch. It is becoming increasingly clear to me that the over 500,000 healthcare providers who currently contribute to the Ontario healthcare system are the largest single asset that the province have in our much valued public healthcare system. 500,000 people plus. That's the size of Ontario's health workforce. Some of you are already part of it. Some of you are joining it in the next while. Some of you will continue in that career for the next 20, 25, 30, 40 years. And like some of the individuals who've spoken this morning, please take hold of it. And your experiences here at Michener will set you on a path that will allow you to make differences that you can't even imagine today. As much as today is about you, and that's an important part of the process, tomorrow is about the patient, their family, their world, your colleagues, working together and driving with the patient for the health services they need. In Ontario, in the provincial government, how we talk about it is we talk about the future in the context of the Action Plan for Health, which places emphasis on patient-centered, high-quality care. Its priorities are based on what the patient should be able to expect from the healthcare system to become healthier and about improvements to quality and access to care along their full patient journey, whether that's a short journey or a long journey. Focusing on the right care at the right time, at the right place, is a statement that talks about what we all want from the system, whether we're professionals or consumers. And that right care is that it's provided by the appropriate provider or team of healthcare providers, and it's important for us to find ways for us to all participate and benefit in the system. Here at Michener, I know that the students have already observed and practiced in interprofessional experiences. And through these experiences, you understand the importance of the team focus on the patient. And always remember, it's the patient's team. It's not the team of professionals providing care to the patient. It is the patient's team. I think it's also really important for you today, as you enter the field of healthcare, it's never changed as fast as it's changing right now. At the same time, we have demographics that are making it more and more of us are going to need assistance from the system over time. And what's going to change could be changing tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, and over the next decade. We can't even imagine the changes that are going to happen. However, I do challenge you. We all like to romanticize the past. For many of you won't know some of these TV shows, but how Happy Days used to look at the 1950s, how the Brady Bunch looked at the 1960s, how ER looks at the way acute care hospitals and patients turning up in the exciting ERs looked. That's probably not what we're going to be working in the future. You have an amazing opportunity. Every year, there's a change in our health human workforce of 4%. That doesn't seem like very much. You're part of that 4%. And I challenge you, as part of that 4%, to look forward, not back. You have the opportunity, and you've heard from some of your alumni recipients this morning, of the change you can make by looking forward. Looking and expecting better things for you as a professional, you as a profession, and for the patients. So a couple of quotes for you to reflect on as you move forward today. The first one from Nelson Mandela. We must use time wisely and forever realize that the time is always right to do what is right. Perhaps that's more plainly said by, in the world, it is run by people who show up, not by those people who wait to be asked. The road to success is dotted with lots of tempting parking places. I encourage you not to stop and park. And if you do, please make it for a moment. And the only place where success comes before work is in the dictionary. With that, I will draw my comments to a close. Again, congratulations to graduating students on all of your hard work and all of the best in your healthcare careers. A huge thank you to those family, friends, the Michener family, and those who have supported you along this important journey. As Nelson Mandela encourages, use your time wisely. Forever realize that the time is right for lifelong learning in your new career and to do the right thing. Probably the most unfortunate part of today, but both truly exciting, is that at this point in your life, there is no core curriculum. The entire thing is an elective, and I encourage you to think about that elective. On behalf of myself and everyone here supporting and cheering you on in your career, I hope you enjoy this special day. I wish you every success in your future. Congratulations and good luck, graduates.
Well, first of all, let me thank Suzanne for being here today, but also for her remarks. This lady has a very important role within the Ministry of Health, and I think you can see the dedication, the experience, the passion that she brings to it. So thank you very much for being in here today, and accept this as a token of our appreciation.
And now for the conferring of the diplomas. I'd like to call to the podium Ms. Sylvia Shipka, Mr. Cliff Nordell, and Ms. Ronnie Sardick, Director, Student Enrollment and Registrar.
Will all the graduates of the Michener Institute class of 2013 please stand? Mr. Chairman, I certify that these scholars present and those whose names appear in the printed program have fulfilled the statutory requirements laid down by the Board of Governors of the Michener Institute for Applied Health Sciences, that they may be admitted to their various and several diplomas and certificates. Thanks.
By virtue of the authority vested in me and in the Michener Institute for Applied Health Sciences, I hereby admit you to your various and several diplomas and certificates, with all of the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereto appertaining. Congratulations, graduates.
Thank you, graduates. You may be seated for a few moments only. Because now, for the moment that you've been waiting for a long time, the awarding of the diplomas and certificates to the class of 2013. I would like to ask the members of the audience to please hold your applause until the end of each program. Joining us on the stage for the awarding of the diplomas will be our interim president and vice president academic, Sylvia Shipka, and Cliff Nordell, our board chair. I would like to introduce Mira Narantharan, Chiropody faculty, who will be calling the names of the graduates of the Chiropody program. Catherine Gray, chair of Chiropody, will come forward to congratulate the graduates as well.
Stacy Addick with distinction. Alia Ali with distinction. Peter Bello. Catherine Blundell. Grace Bongo with distinction. Melissa Burrows. Karen Chan with distinction. Krina Desa. Jasmine Diman. Lisa Esposito. Darren Coben with distinction. Julie Huang. Stephen Collatino. With distinction. Sarah. Cynthia Lee with distinction. Jacques Murray. Tiffany Ng. Richard Pack. Alicia Sharia Yema. Ryan Smiley with distinction. Shivani Sukhdev. Ali Tabaritsi with distinction. Alexandra Liddy with distinction. Gayatri Yoganathan. Emily Yu. Janet Yu.
Congratulations to the Karabati class of 2014. I now introduce Peggy Kiley, Medical Laboratory Science faculty, who will be calling the names of the graduates of the Medical Laboratory Science program. Dr. Peter Bridge, Chair of Medical Laboratory Science, will come forward to also congratulate the graduates. Simone Alley. John Joseph Antonio. Uma Ascar.
Amanda Young with distinction. Lisa Baker with distinction. Reno Bonsignore. Kirsten Boyce with distinction. Michelle Buckholz. Ted Campbell. Mavis Chan. Christine Chang with distinction. Derek Chow. Monique Chan. Megan Cochran with distinction. Jonathan Crosby with distinction. Teresa Dang with distinction. Emma Feidlater with distinction. Nadia Galal. Fatima Hussein with distinction. Scott Hutchison. Christine Killick with distinction. Taylor Laughlin with distinction. Karen Lee. Joshua Lewis. Danielle Menezes. Agnes Piszyntiska. With distinction. Irina Shershin with distinction. Tony Tang. Scott Turner. Dana Ursula. Bianca Wong. Daphne Weinberg with distinction. Matthew Wong Fung. Angela Kim with distinction. Han Yu Zhang.
now like to introduce Ann Topple, Nuclear Medicine faculty, who will be calling the names of the graduates of the Nuclear Medicine program, a joint program with the University of Toronto. Susan Welts, Chair of Nuclear Medicine, will come forward to congratulate the graduates. We also invite Dr. Pam Patton, Professor and Vice Chair, University of Toronto, Radiation Oncology, to come forward and congratulate the graduates.
I am Ellie. Sundus Aziz. Luis Miguel Herrera Arbeles. Jennifer Lynn Bell. Jenny Chan. Anna Chu with distinction. Rosa Chu with distinction. Christopher Cruz. Alicia De Silva. David Dufault. Miss Melanie Effendy with distinction. Carlton Fung. Amanda Icasayano with distinction. Rochelle Keshwa with Tisha Komal. Negma Lasani Abdi. Eddie Liang. Calvin Ling. Jerry Ma. Christiane Masaka. Allison Nurse. Craig Olmsted. Antonia Watch with distinction. Odetta Ramadani with distinction. Henry Tam. Aiko Toda with distinction. Marcus Wong. Karen Yip. Vanessa Emila Lecky with distinction.
I now introduce Renata Bradley, Radiation Therapy faculty, who will be calling the names of the Radiation Therapy program, also a joint program with the University of Toronto. Catherine Ladoni, program chair, will come forward to congratulate the graduates.
On behalf of the Radiation Therapy faculty, I'd like to say congratulations to the graduates and their families. Charlene Anderson. Imran Eric. Leanne Dan. Stephanie Barrett. He Chan. Teresa Chang. Dilpreet Desi. Erica Doyle. Michael Giovinazzo. Victor Wong. Jason Cosme. Kevin Leneve with distinction. Wilson Young. Irene Lindsay. Christina McPherson. Marina Meshasilva. Katria Mickey. With distinction. Jenny Nguyen with distinction. Anisha Patel. Ekta Patel. Jayashree Paul. Alicia Philbright. Caitlin Cower. Raja Ravi. Rebecca Shin. Mackenzie Smith with distinction. Michelle Tuan. Sui Joanne Lu with distinction. Lisa Zhao.
Congratulations to the I would like to introduce Alex Gontar, Radiological Technology faculty, who will be reading the names of the graduates of the Radiological Technology program, also a joint program with the University of Toronto. Susan Wells, Chair of the Radiological Technology, will come forward to congratulate the graduates. Alex?
Indeed, it is my great honor to welcome my new colleagues to Radiological Technology. Stephanie Atchison, with distinction. Vahid Anwari. Annie Baxter, with distinction. Kevin Andrew Bida, with distinction. Stefania Butnar. Asma Chiliwala. Jackie Chan. Eric Chang. Nixon Land. Hannah Chung. Sandra Clark. Angela Fong. Tom Gatzik. Mashita Gaius. Vicky Ahmed.
I'd like to call the Gold Award winner for cardiovascular perfusion, Ya Wen Feng. That's okay, you're right. The Gold Award winner for the chiropody program is Cynthia Lee. Chiropody is Karen Chan. Our Gold Award winner for the genetics technology is Caroline Gloria Balch. Winner for the Medical Laboratory Science Program is Kristen Boyce. My apologies, it's Kristen. Award winner for the Medical Laboratory Science Program is Emma Finlatter. Award winner for the Nuclear Medicine Program is Craig Olmsted. Winner for Nuclear Medicine is Amanda Eschano. Award winner for radiation therapy is Jenny Nguyen. Award winner for radiation therapy is Katria Mickey. Radiological Technology is Frankie Liu. The Silver Award winner for Radiological Technology is Annie Baxter. And for respiratory therapy, the Gold Award winner is Stephen Liu. The Silver Award winner for respiratory therapy is Amanda Beckley. The Silver Award winner for ultrasound, Kathy Mao. Congratulations to all of our award winners. It is now my pleasure to invite to the podium the chair of the Alumni Association Board of Directors, Christine Nielsen, who brings to you greetings from the Alumni Association.
Thank you, Kathy, and good afternoon now. I bring greetings to you from the Alumni Association Board, and congratulations to the class of 2013. As noted, my name is Christine Nielsen. I'm the chair of the Michener Institute's Alumni Association Board of Directors and a 1997 MLS grad. I can hear you doing the math. I'm pretty old. I would like to say I've enjoyed the front row seat of the shoe collection that's walked by me today, and I'm always intrigued to watch what the chiropody class is wearing, because they know what we're doing to our feet. But bravo, ladies, for making the choice for awesome footwear today. I extend congratulations to the class of 2013 on behalf of the Alumni Board, and today we celebrate your achievements. The Alumni Association has been with you throughout your journey at Michener. We welcomed you during orientation. I met some of you in the bathroom on the first day of orientation, and you wondered if this was the right fit for you. And now you know today, for sure, this was the best choice you've made in your life. We welcomed you during orientation. We partnered with SSN and Student Council on many occasions to support you through your studies. And I now welcome you to the distinguished title that you now carry with you always, Michener Alumni. To this day, people always ask me where I graduate from, and I tell them with pride it was the Michener Institute. We hope you took advantage of the breakfast reception this morning and had a commemorative photo taken. Both were sponsored by the Alumni Association. I'm sure many of you have already taken a photo of your snapshot and tweeted it. And 20 years from now, when you find it in the box or the bottom drawer, you will wonder two things. Why did my hair look like that? And what was I wearing? And the other thing you'll also say is, damn, I look good. So congratulations. I'd like to thank the members of the Board of Directors who were in attendance today, Sean McCluskey, Paul and Aim, Abby Sirasagaro, and Nicole Coutu, who is among your fellow graduates today. Congratulations, Nicole. Some of you may have already started your professional careers. While you were out there in the hospitals, labs, clinics, remember that you're not out there alone. We were established in 1997. The Alumni Association has over 11,000 members, and we join you to our network of graduates that have a special connection with you now. We sincerely hope you decide to keep in touch and stay connected with us throughout your careers. One of the things people don't often tell you when you're a student and when you're progressing through school is you just have the most valuable thing that many people don't realize, which is the network. A network is how you find your first job, it's how you get your next job, and it's how you get your promotion. So stay connected to each other, stay connected to the Alumni Association, you won't regret it. From this day forward, know that you're part of an esteemed collective, a group of people committed to developing mutually beneficial relationships for the growth and success of Michener, its graduates, students, and our healthcare communities. Class of 2013, your days as students may have ended for now, but you'll forever be a Michener alum. Your success is our success, and your challenge is the same. You are Michener's ambassadors, and we regard you as such, and we are proud to call you our own. You've been encouraged today not just to show up every day, but to get involved. You are the future of your profession. You have to participate, and don't wait to be asked. There's many opportunities for you to get involved and stay connected both to the Michener, but also to your professional societies and your regulatory bodies. You will be charting the future of the professions in healthcare. Remember that the Alumni Association is here to support you too as you embark on your next phase of your career. We need your input and your participation to continue to support you in the years to come. We will keep you connected through the Michener magazine, alumni e-news, social media, and invitations to volunteer or come out to Michener-hosted events. Stay in touch. You'll be hearing from us soon. It's our goal to keep you informed, engaged, and involved. Once again, I personally congratulate each and every one of you today. We're proud to call you Michener alumni.
It is now my honor and privilege to introduce your 2013 valedictorian, Christopher Kyle Cruz. Christopher is a graduate of our Nuclear Medicine Technology program. Kyle is described by his classmates as being someone who exudes all the qualities that a great valedictorian should have. During his years at Michener, he has befriended classmates across all disciplines. He was a member of the MRS Student Society, planning, fundraising, social and academic events for his fellow students. He also participated in projects with the Institute for Healthcare Improvement, leading a team of interprofessional students in investigating healthcare issues. Kyle is always willing to share his knowledge with other students and is a great addition to any team-based project. He is easygoing, friendly, supportive of his fellow students, and a pleasure to have as a classmate and friend. His ease with colleagues and patients will help him become an excellent future healthcare hero. Please welcome Kyle Cruz.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, fellow graduates. I can't say that this was something I expected, but I'm deeply honored to be standing here today as your valedictorian. Look how far we've come in what seems like such a small amount of time. Those incredibly awkward icebreakers in our first classes, the uneasy feeling right before practicals, the anxiety over clinical placement to this very moment. I'm truly moved by all the hard work we had to do to realize our successes. But in all honesty, our time at Michener wasn't just our noses in the book while we burned the midnight oil. Many of us knew how to have a good time too. And Shasta Hall was oftentimes the place to be. A place where we go and relax in between classes, catch up with friends, and occasionally use it for an impromptu party. However, does anybody remember the old Schatz Hall? Let me remind you, I was fit with dilapidated furniture, a color scheme that was even too tacky for the 80s. While it served its purpose, frankly, it was in rough shape. But our cohort was fortunate enough to experience Schatz Hall undergo a transformation into a place that's now really quite beautiful. Upon walking into the newly renovated space, I could hardly believe my eyes. I remember thinking, this must have taken a lot of planning, dedication, and teamwork to pull off something this drastic. And, like Schatz Hall, I believe that we have transformed into people that we never really expected we could become. When we first came to Michener in our first year, some of us may have been quiet, just sitting in the corner minding our own business. Or maybe you were loud and always had to have your opinion heard. Maybe you never really work well with others, and you're kind of a know-it-all. Maybe you're never really inspired to just cruise through your educational career without any direction or purpose. But as I look around today at this beautiful venue, I see young men and women who have transformed into outgoing, humble, respectful individuals who have cultivated a wonderful community. Men and women who are willing to band together to overcome any adversity that may cross their path. Men and women who will go the extra mile for those who are in need. Individuals who thirst to make a change in the world, whether it's in their own backyards or abroad. So, who are we to thank for this incredible transformation? Our education, professors, friends, parents? Well, the right answer is, well, all of the above, of course. But truthfully, the number one driver for this change is you. While those around us have helped to lay the tracks towards our individual growth, ultimately, it's been up to us to power the train, and every single graduate here has proved that they can travel great distances. I want to take a moment now and say a few things about our generation, whom the media has called the millennials. There's been a lot of talk about us. Time magazine recently ran a cover story regarding us millennials. The author described us as a group of individuals who are, believe it or not, narcissistic, overconfident, lazy, entitled, constantly taking pictures of ourselves, more interested in maintaining social lives on our smartphones rather than the one that may be happening right in front of our faces, and to top it all off, still living in our parents' basements. And as a member of this great generation, I can tell you that those claims are only half true. But in all seriousness, the piece only started out that way, listing some common misconceptions about us. The remainder focused on how we landed on some hard times and how our futures are greatly affected by the recent recession. The author, 41-year-old Joel Stein, entitled his piece, "The New Greatest Generation, Why the Millennials Will Save Us All." A title especially fitting for a room full of healthcare professionals. Mr. Stein is convinced that we're poised to save the world, and truthfully, I can't help but agree with him. I want to share with you a few key points that make our generation truly great. First, we don't believe in hierarchy. This doesn't mean that we don't respect our bosses or those whom we might lead, but rather we believe that equality in the workplace is essential to efficiently solving daily situations. Also, we're not afraid to challenge our supervisors if we strongly believe in something. Second, we're resourceful and adaptable. Our generation has the most advanced technology and communication systems that we all use on a daily basis. We should use it as a tool to achieve our goals. We're a group of individuals who have been bred to think critically and outside the box. Characteristics that will help us overcome challenging situations. And finally, we want to have a sense of mission. I believe this is the strongest characteristic of our generation. I know that I'm not speaking for myself in saying that we want to have a sense of purpose in our lives, to find value in what we do. While receiving a paycheck is great, and it will really help us get out of our parents' basements, we should all want more out of our careers. Not only wanting change, but taking initiative to see positive changes happen before our eyes as a product of our hard work and dedication. In closing, most of us here are going to enter into our careers, work regular hours, and build a life, white picket fence and all. I stand here today and challenge you to never become complacent. There's far too much talent in this room to allow for that. And also to remember Mr. Stein's hope for our generation as you continue your journey. Every now and then, just step back and survey your life and ask yourself, is this what I really want? How am I continuing to grow and transform as a person? How am I changing things for the better? And if you can't think of an answer to those questions, then just recall your achievements here at Michener, your transformation here, and all the knowledge, confidence, and courage you've gained. By doing so, maybe you'll find the answers that you're looking for and be able to graduate to the next stage of your life. Who knows? The next stage might even involve joining others working together to save the world. Thank you.
Thank you for representing your class so well. I'd now like to invite Sylvia Shipka to the podium to share her closing remarks.
You're not narcissistic at all. Today marks an accomplishment in your journey, a journey that has been supported by families, educators, clinicians, and peers. Many of them are here today. So I'm not going to make the graduates stand up, but on the count of 3, I want you to just shout out thank you to everybody in this room who has helped you. So 1, 2, 3. Excellent. And you take instructions well. During your time at Michener, you will have completed over 1,000 hours of class. Notice I didn't say you have attended. You've done over 90 exams. You can collectively groan on them. And about 1,200 simulation and clinical hours. We've prepared you technically, we've prepared you clinically, but today, briefly, I want to talk to you about the most important element you already came prepared with, and that's bringing compassion to your role. Ken Schwartz was a father, husband, and successful attorney in Boston when he was diagnosed with advanced lung cancer. Ken became acutely aware of how much the relationships he had with his clinical caregivers affected his well-being and his sense of humanity. He shared a moving account of his healthcare journey in a piece called A Patient's Story. Each and every one of you should read it. He said, looking back, I realized that in a high-volume setting, the high-pressure atmosphere can stifle a caregiver's inherent compassion and humanity. But the briefest pause in the frenetic pace can bring out the best in a caregiver and do much for a very terrified patient. He could not emphasize enough how meaningful it was when caregivers revealed something about themselves that made a personal connection to his plight. He said, it made me feel so much less lonely. He highlighted that his ordeal had been punctuated by moments of exquisite compassion from doctors, nurses, therapists, and every health professional he worked with. He emphasized, as skilled and as knowledgeable as my caregivers are, what mattered the most is that they empathized with me in a way that gave me hope, that made me feel like a human, and didn't look at me like an illness. As you begin your healthcare careers today, your days will be filled with taking samples, reading images, completing procedures. You will at times feel very busy. You will at times feel overwhelmingly tired. But that is when you need to remember most that what you do matters in the most profound way. As you start each and every workday, strive to be remembered by each and every patient as the healthcare worker who cared above all else. We're proud to have been part of your success, your dreams, and your future. Congratulations. I would now request that everybody please stand for the recessional. The platform party will exit first, followed by the graduates and the honors.